Tonga volcano magnitude 6.2 new strong earthquake rocks the area days after the volcanic eruption of this underwater volcano. Relief efforts are still trying to get there. Now we have this. We've had earthquakes since the eruption on January 15, but this one is a big one, 6.2. Now with the big blast that we had on January 15, that was an equivalent of 7.4. And the shockwave was felt around the world. And this one is 6.2 magnitude. It rocked the islands days after the volcano eruption. The earthquake struck at 219 kilometers west-northwest of Pangai region of Tonga, epicenter between the islands of Tonga and Lao region, and it was shallow earthquake at about 14.5 kilometers depth. And shaking about 8 or 9 miles down. Shaking may have been felt on some. We're going to see the shake map there. It was reported not too strong as the quake was not centered nearby. There's also reported little chance of a tsunami because of this. U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, predicted that there is a low chance of green alert of shaking, related fatalities, as well as little chance of economic losses from this earthquake to damaged buildings. And there were luckily no people within 100 kilometers of this impact, and it came days after another earthquake struck just hours earlier. The magnitude 5 earthquake, considered strong, was reportedly 44 kilometers out from Nuku'alofa, Tonga's capital. The latest quake was 251 kilometers northwest of Nuku'alofa, the capital. This is about 184 kilometers northwest of Hongga Hapai, where the huge underwater volcanic eruption happened 12 days ago on January 15th. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. These are the satellite images of the eruption, as we can see. And the shockwave was felt all over the world. Even the sound of the sonic boom was heard in Alaska. Okay, these is a very fast day and night. And this is the blast, equivalent to what scientists estimate to be 100 Hiroshima bombs energy. Now, in fact, the eruption of that volcano was so colossal, NASA has even said it was 100 times more powerful than the atomic bomb of Hiroshima. Jim Garvin, chief scientist at NASA, Goddard Space Flight Center, wrote on NASA's Earth Observatory blog, "This is a preliminary estimate, but we think the amount of energy released by that eruption was equivalent to somewhere between 4 to 18 megatons of TNT. The eruption sent a significant plume of ash and water vapor 25 miles into the atmosphere, generating tsunami waves nearly 50 feet high, striking parts of Tonga's main island. The disaster damaged the island's main internet cable. It cut off communications to the remote archipelago for days." Dr. Neil Hudson, Minister of Parliament for Penrith and the Border, said the House of Commons, "I have asked solidarity and support for people of Tonga, welcoming that we are working very closely with those allies in Australia and New Zealand to support the people of Tonga. As we know, they're part of this is an area of the Commonwealth." He says, "And I very much welcome the Minister's statements that the UK is redeploying military assets to provide humanitarian support for Tonga." Now, since this huge eruption, the majority of Tongans, around 84%, according to the Tongan government, have been affected by falling ash and the tsunami, and this eruption is still ongoing. Let's take a look at the maps to find out, to see what the frequency is. So here we are at Seismic Berkeley, and you can see that, where are they? They disappeared. What's happening? Okay, here we go. Okay, this is a 6.2, depth of 4 kilometers, it says here. This is today's earthquake, but we can see that we've had a tremendous amount of earthquakes ever since the eruption, all along the Tonga Trench. There we go. This is the 5.2. That was a very deep, 621 kilometers depth into the mantle, into the lithosphere. This one again deep, but this one is very, very deep, as we can see. The 5.2 extremely deep. These ones here are closer to the trench, the ridge. 5.2 again. This was a few days ago towards the North Island of New Zealand. 5.2 again the day before, 3 days ago. And remember, the North Island of New Zealand has the Tapoi supervolcano. So let's look at the shake frequencies right here. Fiji shaken. Okay, this is Fiji around here, and the North Island right here. Of course, this is over the area of the submarine volcano. And going to the topographic. Okay, this is Fiji right here. I'm sure Fiji shook as well, as you can see. And that's the capital of Tonga right there, Nuku'alofa. So we still have a lot of activity there. I'm just very skeptical about these very deep earthquakes here, very deep into the lithosphere. And now looking at volcano discovery. This was refreshed just 6 minutes ago. Tonga Hapai volcano activity update. Sulfur dioxide plume reached Madagascar and East Africa. This was from 4 days ago. So I don't know where it is now. This minor activity from red is now orange. It's 3 out of 5. The 7,000 kilometer long aerosol plume, the ash plume, continues to travel over the Indian Ocean, approaching Madagascar and East Africa. And again, this was 4 days ago. But let's go to Null School to see what we can see there. Here we are at Null School, and the last time we looked, we did not see the ash cloud. But look, we're at the chemical, atmospheric, chemistry mode, and we're looking at sulfur dioxide. And let's go to our area. That's Madagascar. Okay. And this is our area of Fiji, Tonga. I don't see anything there. I don't really see anything there. And we can see, let's go to our, let's go over, supposedly the ash plume went over the northern part of Australia this way, across this way, and into East Africa. Now it also depends on the air currents, of course. Let's go to the air currents. Okay, those are the air currents that we see there. Okay, those are the air currents. Air currents, as they are supposedly real time right now. There's a huge mess there, I don't know, but maybe it stopped there. What about land? Let's see the currents over land. Do we have currents over the wind? The wind is coming from the north. So we don't know how the ash cloud, it doesn't show the ash cloud. Unfortunately, it does not show the ash cloud. CO2? No, it doesn't show anything concerning sulfur dioxide, which is very unusual, because this plume has made its way into over at Madagascar into East Africa. So I'll leave links below for you for this. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.